Welcome back to America's Horse, coverage of the World Championship Quarter Horse Show and the Jumping Championships.
And we're seeing the 9th horse working his way toward a clean round that will join the 8 others in the final jump-off. This being the original jumping course in which the horses are being judged strictly upon their ability to get over these obstacles and not incur any major faults, which are knockdowns, run-outs, or refusals.
This 14-year-old bay mare named Buxtona, owned by Gretchen Spraker of Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and the rider is from nearby Edmond, Oklahoma, Mike Huber, and a very qualified rider, a member of the U.S. equestrian team.
This is different from the competition we see for hunters, where we look for a nice, even hunting pace. Here, the judgment and control of the rider is expected to get this horse into the right jumping position every time and to clear that fence nice and cleanly. And he's putting it together very well. It means we are going to have a very exciting jump-off round.
As Dick mentioned, the 9th horse to clear all of the jumps without knocking anything down, so there'll be 9 in the jump-off.
He's well on his way to finishing the final obstacle here. And he does it. And we asked particularly why the quarter horse was such a great favorite among competition, and that question was put to one of our top competitors, Kenny Bergdorfer.
I like the quarter horse show the best. The show's really organized, you got a faster pace, and it's more exciting for the audience. The audience is more with you.
In the jump-off round, they'll be riding against the clock, and we asked Kenny about his strategy for a jump-off round.
Well, I try to follow a strategy depending on what horse I get back in the jump-off. And I try to find his weaknesses and his strongest points. And if he's real strong in the turns, I'll make the sharper turns. If he can gallop faster, I'll gallop and leave a stride out. And I won't turn as sharp as I will, but I'll gallop around a jump to make sure I can get over the jump clean. And I depend on who the jump-off is. I think somebody else may have some trouble. I may do some turns and let them dare try the same turns I did earlier in the course and see if they won't have a rail down.
All right, remember, this is the first of 9 horses in the jump-off, with the jumps now down to 6. Dr. Tay's a 4-year-old brown stallion. Hayes Ranch, Snyder, Texas, the owner. Debbie Hurd aboard. Walt, a marvelously versatile horse.
It really is, and this is one of our super horse contenders because he qualified in 9 events, both Western events and English events. This horse was bred to be a racehorse, but here you see him in the jumping, so that really proves the versatility of the quarter horse.
And he's moving right there. You can see a little bit of that racehorse breeding, can't you?
Well, Dick mentioned this is a race against the clock. You see the clock in the upper right-hand corner.
27.393, so that was the first horse off in the jump-off, and that was the time that was set for everybody else to beat, 27.393. From nearby Edmond, Oklahoma, Wendy Stover, the owner of AQHA, and also ridden by Wendy. This is an 8-year-old dun gelding. And again, without any faults, obviously, so anybody that's going to be in it's got to do it without faults, and there it is.
4 faults for that knockdown.
Well, that's where the strategy comes in, because Dr. Tay made a clean run in a very good time, so they were throwing caution to the wind, trying to have a clean run in a shorter time, and AQHA knocked down the 1 jump.
We had a faster time.
Well, see, the best time was 27.393 by Dr. Tay, and that was 24 plus, 24.9, but again, the 4 faults, that's obviously the difference. Faster, but that doesn't make any difference if you've got the faults. Now we have Special Escape. Marcia Haywood aboard. This is a 9-year-old gray gelding. Theodore Van Holden from Virginia, the owner. And what happens here?
We had a refusal, and that first one will cost her 3 faults.
And if she has another one, we're talking 6 faults now. So basically, a clean run is not going to help this horse that much.
Again, though, you have 9 in the jump-off, so you're still looking for placement as far as the World Championship is concerned, and and a chance to finish in the top 10.
I was fixing to say, it's pretty good to make the finals in the jumping. It's even better to make the jump-off.
Exactly.
But even though her time is slower than AQHA, she had 1 less fault.
That's right. Now Sweet 21, this 6-year-old chestnut mare, ridden by Sarah Voorhees and Ann Kane from Elkins, West Virginia, the owner.
Up again to that rail, and there's another knockdown for 4 faults.
And again, we must point out that the first horse out really put the pressure on Dr. Tay with that time of 27.393 seconds, and everybody trying to go for it.
I was fixing to say, Dr. Tay having a clean, fast run, the first one, kind of changed the strategy of the other riders coming into the competition.
intimidation a little bit.
29.456 the time. Kenny Bergdorfer, who we talked to earlier, the owner of this horse, Top Caled, but this one being ridden by Linda McLaren. We'll see Kenny later aboard. But this is Top Caled with Linda McLaren aboard.
Got a nice trip over that wall now. She's riding a very controlled ride here. She's trying to make, right to there. 4 faults with the rail down. Her strategy, I think, was to be kind of conservative here and just try to get a clean trip since no one else had one to that point. So the intentions were good, just a little misstep there.
And that's right, no one else has had, because this is the 5th horse out, 27.344 the time. But again, right now, the horse in second, the one with the 3 faults, Special Escape. This is Diamond D. Dude, Lawton, Oklahoma, near to Oklahoma City. Owner Bill and Sherry Manuel, and Mary Jakubik, a Grand Prix rider, is aboard.
They're making a real tight turn into that wall. They're not getting a straight approach to it, and that's what's causing a little bit of problem.
Well, you saw there's another 4 faults on that wall. You mentioned the tight turn. There's another 4 faults. So the first one they knocked the wall down, I think what you said, Dick, is true. They are making a real tight turn and still getting a real good jump at the wall.
And we had a 3rd rail go down, so we're up to 12 faults here as we take the final fence.
I can't recall in a World Championship of recent years where in the jump-off, sometimes you have, 6, 7, 8 horses maybe going through cleanly. Now here's Kenny Bergdorfer. Let's see if his strategy pays off. Aboard Demon's Bars, 17-year-old chestnut gelding, owned by the William Woods College of Fulton, Missouri, and they have a great history of some great jumping horses at that school. In fact, this horse won senior jumping last year. Problems there.
He tried a tight cut on that wall, too, and it is very difficult to get over there that way.
It does. It looks like they're trying to take it at an angle instead of really coming in to the very center in front of the jump.
That's right. They're trying to shave a stride or two to save some time, and that puts them at an angle.
Brush that one right there. We have 2 horses remaining now. You see the time, 31.368. Again, the first horse out, Dr. Tay, with a time of 27.393 and cleanly through, the only horse cleanly through. Now let's see what this 7-year-old chestnut mare can do. Clay Farrell is the rider. Apollo Alert.
Coming from Florida, so far keeping the act together here. And a fairly brisk pace as well.
Very brisk.
This could get real interesting if we can hold it all in place.
Back feet
flat now on that
knocked the one
fence.
off.
You see, her arch wasn't that good. A little flat, pulled that rail, and then pulled the final rail as well. 8 faults.
That was going to be the winner right there if the rails don't go down on those last 2 jumps. All right, this one goes right here. Buxtona, 14-year-old bay mare. Let's watch. We saw this was the last one in the regular round. This is Mike Huber aboard.
And he's made a little careful approach to that wall, and he gets over it this time.
He can't be any worse than second if he'll just get through in any time if he gets through cleanly.
Yes.
Maybe his strategy has changed a little bit being last.
Yeah, and it looks like he's picking up the pace here.
He may have a
Got
shot.
a shot. He's got to beat 27. Didn't beat it. Needed 27.393, gets second. And that means Dr. Tay from Hayes Ranch in Snyder, Texas, ridden by Debbie Hurd, is the world champion. We'll be back with more from the World Championship Show after these messages. Welcome back to America's Horse as our action continues from the World Championship Quarter Horse Show in Oklahoma City on our special 90-minute edition this evening. We just had a chance to see the Jumping World Championship, but there are 4 other English events in which the quarter horse excels.
The championship for the Junior Hunter Under Saddle was earned by I'm a Sugar King. This is a 3-year-old sorrel gelding, owned by Alma Kent from Collierville, Tennessee, and shown by Karen Page. Then in the senior division of Hunters Under Saddle, it was Cure the Blues. Here, a 5-year-old gray gelding owned by Gene Zimmerman from Highland Park, Illinois. Sandy Vaughn tested her Junior Hunter Hack champion over a couple of fences to win this one. And Tamara Kyle returned in the Senior Hunter Hack division to take this championship with Socks Adrift. More fences now for the Junior Working Hunters. Mary Jakubik was the winner on Diamond D. Dude. Then in the Senior Working Hunter event, Superhorse contender Professional Beau was the winner with Sandy Skaffgard riding. And pleasurably traveling here for the Pleasure Driving Championship, Ms. Sweet Sunny.
And now we're really going to get with it, guys, because we've got speed events coming up right now, and that means pole bending and barrel racing.
Well, there is action, but we're going to get it slowed down a little bit as we look at the world champion in junior pole bending. And Bill Cochran aboard, he and Shirley from Brazil, Indiana, owners of Dinky Superstar, a 4-year-old bay gelding. And this was the world championship run in a great time of just over 20 seconds. And so close to, in fact, close twice there, Dick, to getting a 5-second penalty.
Yes, he really breezed through that one. Weaving out there, the horse having to change leads every time he wraps around the pole. It really takes a lot of coordination. And of course, on a junior horse, this is really demanding a lot, but this is one that lived up to it.
And on the stretch run, coming home, now, as I said, just over 20 seconds, just barely over, 20.161, the World Championship run of Dinky Superstar. Now we look at the Senior Pole Bending Championship, and we're going to look at the top 5 finishers, not necessarily in the order of the finish. This is Dirk Carnahan, who owns and rides the 6-year-old sorrel gelding, Jet in Space, from Wheatland, Indiana.
He's got a lot of quick speed as they made that straight dash down there and then weaving out of those poles, and he's ready to speed home now.
And Speedy did as he got home in a time of 20.237 seconds. One of your Indiana neighbors.
A lot of good horses out in the Midwest there.
You got that right. Here's Precocious Sugar. And Diane Kinney is both the owner and rider from Zegerville, Pennsylvania. And this 7-year-old bay mare really gets up and goes.
She's got a nice stride to her. Wrapped that one real tight. Bumped it a bit, but it stayed right put. Now watch that speed home.
And a time of 20.064, and that beats the previous time and takes over the lead.
Oh, that puts the pressure on.
20.064 is going to put it on any place. Remember, the junior pole bending champion had winning time of 20.161. This 11-year-old bay gelding, owned and ridden by Angie Wells. Pole bending, really gives, now that horse hopped just a little bit there twice on that end pole, and that takes away a lot of time in this timed event.
Had to get it stride or it might have made contact with that pole. It's got a good driving finish here.
And a good time of 20.472, but not enough for the lead, which is 20.064. Third dancer, Tammy is both the owner and rider. You see a lot of older horses, obviously the senior pole bending, but still even older. Like this is a 15-year-old sorrel gelding, third dancer is.
Very seasoned horses, and yet you look at these times and they're just hundreds, thousands of a second separating our top ones.
That's right. And this one right in there again, 20.304 seconds. Again, you're looking at the top 5 finishers from senior pole bending, and the last one to go, trying to beat the time of 20.064 seconds. Bill Cochran aboard this horse owned by Rick Hickson of Martington, Illinois.
Another Midwest horse. They're tough,
11-year-old sorrel gelding, Top Thomas, weaving through and coming home. Needing to beat 20.064. And it was close, but not quite in there. 20.197, and the winner, Precocious Sugar, the 7-year-old bay